Go ahead and get started with the board minutes for February 25th, 2025.
I make a motion, we accept board minutes from February 25th, 2025.
I second it.
Public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried and passed. We go into correspondence. First one's from Five Valleys Land and Trust having a banquet and auction. It's kind of a, they send this, they have it done here every year. It's if a person wants to go and
Want an individual $65 or a table of 10, $6.50. It's all right.
the next one's a Federal Emergency Management Agency, and this is one on to notify you of the final flood hazard determination for Granite County.
On this one, it still has my name in there. We need to get a hold of them and get your name put on as chairman. I noticed that when I read this. Went over it.
Okay, the next one's from Willow Rock Incorporated, and it's a request from Great West Engineering to satisfy the first requirements we did with the winter survey monitoring on Georgetown Lake Dam. This is a state, tell us about movement, maximum horizontal movement, you can't talk. This is from Hans Boynton, but there, you know, we had to start doing that, showing it that wall moved in that. So, it was something that was brought up when we did the walkthrough up there.
Things normal or what?
Then we'll have to price in that, Kareem.
Okay,
We'll make sure we talk to Jeremiah first, cause some of that,
so this is the claim too. We need to get into the claims.
guess I missed.
The
And there was a $1,462.50 claim to do that. So see, that's something else that comes out of it.
Yeah.
The next one from Granite Justice Court. Monthly, we get that every month.
Miranda,
Yes,
probably make sure this one gets to
to Becky.
Yeah.
And then I'll email that report to Jeremiah.
Yeah.
The next one from the Helena Airport District Office. I'm not sure, I don't really understand this. It's just it's showing, who's involved and what's going on with I don't see Granite County on this. Just probably an update.
Yeah, it's like a work report from Helena. I think they're on there.
I didn't see it unless I missed it.
The second.
There's Phillipsburg.
I'm looking. I keep thinking when they say airports, I guess I know there's two airports, but
All right.
it's, I don't know what's gonna happen on, you know, when they. I guess make sure that the board gets that.
Yeah.
And then the airport board, if
Airport,
they
yeah.
wanna look into it, then bring it, put it on. On the agenda, but right now, it's up, you know, let it go through the board first. The next one's from the sheriff, Scott Dunkerson. The surplus Ford Explorer has been moved to the basement door of the jail. It did not receive any bids for $3,000 on the vehicle. Perhaps the Explorer can be traded in on the county's next vehicle purchase. We kind of talked to him and told him, you know, it was his, so if he wants to, you know, that's kind of up to him.
Was all the stuff taken off of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and the next one's from Blaine Bradshaw telling us that the Fish, Wildlife and Parks and that, given above Fish, Wildlife Park would impose an increase in outgoes. I think we'll talk about this when it comes up. Down. One from Joe Gilboy, and it's on, talking about that, Older Americans Act service. And this is due with, council for the Area 5. And we've kind of turned that over to the hospital, so I guess to make sure that this, they can see that. I'm sure they're involved in it, the lady that works, you know, she, otherwise it sounds like it might disappear.
Right.
Just out. That way I understand it, Blanche, is that you're trying to legislate for that Older American Act. There's been quite a bit on TV about it.
So he's also making note that he's been lax on maintaining an advisory council for Area 5. And at the end of the paragraph, it's being part of the advisory council is not contingent upon being able to attend the one meeting, so please don't eliminate anyone just because they have a conflict on the 26th of March. I'm not really sure. So is this something that you feel that the hospital then should be looking into going to this meeting?
Yeah,
Okay,
cause all we do, the money comes through here for Area 5 and we just pass it on that. I guess make sure it goes to Brian,
Okay.
please. Next one's a Beaverhead Deer Lodge Working Group, and that's the one that they're having a meeting March 5th, Butte Archives on Butte. Starts at 1 o'clock. This is saying, telling about how much, and they're gonna go out and look at like the pretty much, then burn and some other stuff going on, but that's it for correspondence. Any public comment on that?
is this the one that Chuck went to and?
Yeah.
And felt that he didn't want to participate in it?
Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. For the record, Elena Gagliano, you know that. Do you hear me okay?
Yes,
Thank you. Okay, lots of correspondence. And I was just wondering, that one from Granite County Justice Court,
yes.
Justice Court 1. What does that mean? I know what it means, but do you know guys know what that refers to, Justice Court 1? Mr.
Justice Court one, I'll answer that question for you, Elena. We only have one justice court. There used to be two justice courts, one in Drummond and one up here. And what that correspondence from the JP is their disbursements for the month of January.
Okay. Okay, and yeah, there used to be one over in the Drummond area, and we don't have that anymore. But this says from February 28th, 25 to February 28th, 25, and that was just one day. And they do collect, I believe, for the town of Phillipsburg, but I never see anything on that. So maybe there's nothing for the town of Phillipsburg. Just wondering. And one other question, I guess this could be public comment, I don't know. That CFR notice, Mr. Chairman, from last week, did you decide what to do or what happened with that?
On that Zoom,
Yes.
I'll bring it up when we have a Board of Health meeting next week. Yes, I did get on there and listen to it. I sat with Jackie down in Drummond, we listened to it, we took notes, and thought it'd be better to bring it up at the Board of Health. And I'm going with their recommendation. Thank you.
Oh, great. I'll look forward to that one for sure. Thank you.
All right, any other comment on correspondence? Seeing none, we'll go into public comment. Blaine Babcock here now.
Morning.
Morning, Blaine. How's it going?
Let's see, Matt's gonna be here at 11.
We might have some time after the bonds, because that's
Okay.
10:10.
Yeah,
And then we don't
okay.
start till 10:30.
Claudette's gone, but Kenzie knows how to run the digital projector, so for hit some roadblocks, we'll get the expert down here.
I'll watch and learn.
No, I'll be quiet. That's a first.
So I'll just make one comment on Elena's comment on the justice court disbursement. It is, they're doing a total, and that was on the 28th, and it's total only for the month of February.
We get that every month, we've been getting it for years.
The justice court's been busy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing everything right. Still on public comment. County Road Supervisor Paul Wall just came in. Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. My point was that we don't have two justice courts, correct? And maybe somebody should get in touch with the justice court so they can correct their records that it's no longer Justice Court 1. And I think the town of Phillipsburg, I'll get in touch with them. But I was wondering also, that Mako conference, the legislative conference, I thought there would be something on this agenda regarding what happened and any bills that we should have been concerned about. And since Commissioner McClure attended, I thought there would be some kind of discussion, maybe next week. I'm very interested. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll look into the justice court deal, but there was the two justice courts and now the judges both. so I'm not sure if it was how, what the numbering was, what was done with that.
Maybe the bank set it up that way?
No, it'd be, by county resolution, so I'll look at that.
Pretty soon we're gonna have to get more money for having another attorney. Any other public comment?
As far as a report from the legislature from when I was there last week, I have printout of bills that Maple is watching. And as far as taking notes, I didn't take notes. I visited with representatives and went to various committees to listen
Yeah,
in. So
that's
that I
great.
wouldn't have a report for you next week. I do have the printout that has, I can give to you to complete on what Maple was looking at, as important.
Could you have that as on there and see if you guys wanna decide on any of them or make a position?
Thank you for going and doing that.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome.
Now we're getting thumbs up and thumbs down, I don't know, what?
Get your hand up now.
Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. I'm sorry if I interrupt this, but it is public comment. And there are symbols on the Zoom, if you see it, and it tells you what they are. But I was giving a thumbs up to Blaine's comment. I thought he said something that you should discuss it. And yes, Blanche, I think there are several bills that are important. You claimed you made a list of them, and I think maybe you should share them with the other commissioners. It is our, you represent us, and I'd like to know how it will affect. I know there's several regarding property taxes, Constitution, Montana Constitution, all that would affect Granite County. And I think the people would be interested in it. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Couple minutes early, but road and bridge superintendent Paul's here, so we'll go right into it. Paul, you got
We're back to plowing snow, just plowing paved roads and crosses out, so we're can't do much on dirt roads. And, that's about it. Big spring.
over a couple inches in Maxville.
Yeah,
Did they predict this or is it?
we're supposed to get an inch or two, but
Okay.
it ain't staying long.
It was raining first, and then it turned in, then went down and was.
Got some wind taking a grader back up to Georgetown Lake to kick some of that stuff back off where the wind blew it across, but other than that, not much going on. Can't do anything on the dirt roads, obviously. And they'll be soaked in anyway soon, so. And yeah, that's about it. Solid waste is also quiet. Just waiting for spring, and then the people will get back during the chaos of the dawn.
Well, that's one thing, like, I think for like March, to get all those big wet, heavy snows that, we have to make sure we have someone on call for the weekends for those big dumps, so that. we can get-
Got guys already been down,
Just make sure we do that, because, you know, we get like 4 at a time now, it's March, so we got heavy wet stuff, so. Flush.
Yeah. and We won't, we always leave one wing on. We'll strip one pretty soon here, because like last week, we bladed Henderson Creek,
Yeah,
you know. So we'll take the wing off on them, we'll leave one on for sure, just for them stupid, you never know.
right, or drifts or
But it'll
whatever.
definitely, like I say, it'll come with a foot at a time.
Right, and you're on out, so.
But yeah, the guys are all good and ready to be called in, so if we got anything expected.
You have anything, Glenn?
No,
Other than that, that's about it.
Have we got any word on the insurance for that truck?
So we took out a Volvo, we had it over there and the motor turned out good. And we were gonna have our own bearings in it, as long as I had it out, but the bearings were so good that there was just no need in it. Yeah. So it went from there to, obviously I had to do full service when we had it. We're working there and now it's, if it didn't make Kenworth Friday, it'll be there. So they're trying to get it on Friday, but. It is in forward progress.
We still gotta have that, fix that front blade.
Right, oh yeah, we're a long ways from now, it'll be every another month.
Yeah. Any public comment? Go ahead, Blaine.
Were you gonna talk gravel today or another time, or,
I didn't see it get put on.
okay, so I need
We
to,
kinda talked about it and we waited, and I think we thought it'd be better when just, we'll put it on for next week and then we can start working to see, kinda give us an estimate of where we're gonna put stuff and for the upper and lower, and then we'll put a bid out, see how much gravel is and move ahead with it that way, and then do that bid for trucks, but, you know, just in case of emergency, not that we're hiring them, we have our own. That good?
alright, so both issues on
Yeah,
for next week
Next
for
week.
deciding on the bid.
We kinda talked about it last week, and I thought we'll wait till Blanche is here, so she's on the same page. I was thinking about you. You need that pat on the back again.
yeah.
Any public comment? About it, yeah, stay for this reversion on the solid waste. Wait a few minutes.
But the only change that I see is the highlighted change, which is the last page. Or not the last page, but page 12 of 14. Is that the only change on the policy?
The changes were the hours are not consistent. And then that, paragraph on the billing that we talked about. But just to clarify.
That's not a county fee.
Yeah, I'm not aware of,
And the hour changed last year,
yeah,
or not last year, but when Todd started.
so basically revising the policy to be consistent with what's being done, my understanding.
I guess when we wait a couple minutes and we'll go through it and maybe that, we think she's coming in. Ashley.
Oh, okay,
I-
I'm not sure where that last page was highlighted.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of in, that's what, you know.
Yeah,
talked
I
about
can take
before.
the highlighting out, yeah.
We'll go after.
Is that on there before?
It must have been in the draft or whatever, I don't know why it was highlighted on this last draft, I should have taken, that was my fault.
Or is this the final or is this,
It's,
it doesn't say draft on it?
it's the changes that you guys asked for, you know.
After our last meeting, there,
Okay.
that's we're all talking.
Yeah. Okay, so we went up to 8. Because 750 was,
Yeah,
Just makes sense,
yeah,
you know,
the hours and then the,
The hours
clarification on
and-
the overages, yeah.
10 to 6. Which is consistent with both of them, so that's good.
She's coming in, she'll be in at 9:30.
You got a stockpile of sand out at the Moose Lake turnoff with the kid out there at all?
we don't.
No.
Have anywhere to load
Well, that's what I was thinking, there's probably no power to plug anything in.
it, right? We talked about it, I don't know, a few times, but they just kind of plan for it.
Yeah. Well, one load of sand probably does Willow Creek and.
Depending on how bad it is,
Right, does it do all of Rock Creek too, or do they gotta
You
go
know,
back
they'll
in?
come back, like, still go down, East Fork, you know, and then swing down to Middle Fork, you know, and the other truck comes from does the Willow Creek and the bus run, so they kind of split it.
Split it.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Morning.
How are you?
You got to a couple minutes early. Was this the only, this what you outlined? That don't do
Blaine said that should have just been white.
Yeah,
that?
It was, yeah, just a mistake.
It's a mistake.
Well,
It's,
we could leave it in there to, it's important language, but, I don't think we need the yellow.
Anything else on this option?
the draft that, Blaine had sent after he made those three changes.
Yeah, the hours being consistent, both, upper and lower valley. The $8 was the
It's,
750,
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
and the clarification on the overages.
Right, and we've already had, people coming in and asking about some things very related to that.
Okay,
So that's a good clarification, because he was coming in to buy a whole new unit for a little bit of overages,
okay.
so that's good.
And then wanted to get approval on that model contract you use with businesses on units.
That's where he was gonna figure out how many more extra units that you be charged, that was.
I think it was just the contract itself.
Yeah, the contract itself, but yeah, we do need, info from Mr. Robinson on that.
and he was gonna look into that and start checking and make sure, cause he's the one who brought it up. We don't know how much they really get.
Mhm.
It's all on his plate.
Yeah, and we have the list that he had been working off of. And it'll just be Scott and I following up on that. But the model contract, I think it read really well. Doesn't leave,
Is that in your packets?
it was in the,
One thing,
yeah,
week before.
Okay.
We had it.
I didn't.
I still have some here. That stuff that we had on the units, you know.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, the last line and on the contract, it works to everyone's advantage, I think, being that it says that it can be amended from time to time to allow for correction on actual solid waste units used. So, I mean, we'll just keep the most up to date on record.
Yeah,
And I can talk to our software company about it. And there is an option to scan some documents in to attach to taxpayers, so I might be able to even scan and attach this document as proof of,
that'd be great.
yeah.
I see when, so the business comes and say we're changed how much we're, using, then it could be readjusted. Or if, Granite Disposal comes back and says we're seeing their averages are less or more, then it could be, go back to
Yeah,
negotiating deal.
I think that's what we kind of pretty much agreed on when we started, because we don't know. He's just gonna have to play it, and we'll know when he pulls in, and if he takes 4 or 5 of them big things.
Right.
We
Yeah.
don't know. But I think we got it pretty well worked out.
And he would look at the averages over hopefully 6-month periods or years, so you can know
Yeah,
what they're using.
I think we asked him for that, and we back, we didn't wanna wait for a year, cause then we're all, yeah, he's gonna have to be pretty much a couple times to make sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, right now we're, you know, he knows what our deadline is now for having any adjustments into the Department of Revenue. So as long as we have signed contracts or agreements, not contracts, agreements, and, that info changed with the Department of Revenue by the 1st of September, that's kind of pushing it, but 1st of September, yeah.
Any public comment on this? Go ahead, Elena.
Sorry, thank you. I was waiting for 9:30 for the second agenda item or the next agenda item, and I hear somebody talking. Are you talking about I don't know what you're talking about, really. The solid waste district, is that it?
yes, yeah, we're talking about this is Blaine, the proposed revised Granite County solid waste policy. There's 3 basic changes. One is the hours, 10 to 6, both Upper and Lower Valley. The $8 charge
From 750
from
to
$7.50 to $8, and that is the
Minimum.
minimum.
Could you tell your name so she knows who's talking, please?
Oh, sorry. Ashley Todd, Granite County Treasurer.
Thank
And then
you.
the
What I
over,
wanted.
the
I'm sorry.
oversight, there was some clarification in there and just simple language changes. And then there's a proposed agreement that the commission is looking at. It'll be between the county and different business owners where we're agreeing upon how many units they're actually using over the course of a year.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I've got it pulled up now. And there was some mention about the highlights on one of the pages that you don't know who highlighted it or what that's about. And these are my comments. The dates on this, where's the original one? Is that online that we can refer to it? Can you see the changes made from the original?
Yes.
Excuse me. I'm glad you can, sir. I can't. And original cut September 19th, 2011. Then the first revision, 2017, February. What was revised? Who knows? Second revision, May 7th, 2019. But then comes 2023, a revision in March, in April, and October. Boy,
We're not gonna look at the history of the revision. We don't have time for it. It's not relevant here. We're looking at the current changes. Let's stick to what's on the agenda.
I'm
Thank
sorry,
you.
I thought this was public comment. And it was, and I'm the public. So I'm
No,
making
just
a comment that I hope this goes
You're gonna be
into,
cut off here. Just keep nitpicking.
thank you very much. This is exactly typical of what.
All righty. We're moving ahead. On the Granite County Solid Waste District Policy Procedures Manual, we entertain a motion to accept it.
I motion to accept the 7th revision of the Granite County Solid Waste proposal for procedures and policies.
I'll second it.
Let's see, the date on the revision, does it have today's date or I can? add
February
that?
18th.
February 18th.
So we need to change that to today's the fourth, and take off the highlighting on the last page.
Oh, yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried and passed. Thank you.
And then the proposed contract agreement as well.
A motion.
Yeah, motion on that.
Motion for proposed contract.
Was that on one of these pages here?
Yeah, it's all right here.
Contract? Where is it?
I don't think
Right
it's
here. Well, this is the, another page. Is
Yeah,
this
it's a
another
separate
part
page,
of-
yeah, it's like.
Oh, there it is.
Got it. Okay, I'll second it.
Public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried and passed. Thank you, everybody, for the work we've done on this. Thank you.
I'll get you an updated one here.
Okay.
And sign.
We signed it today and use it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lynn.
So on this, will this be sent,
Oh, it's very.
will this be sent to all the,
No, it's gonna be based on the numbers that we have. We have to compare what is put on their assessment currently versus what they actually need to have.
So they may
So,
need to come in.
Yeah.
Chat with us.
yeah, it'll be a letter, there'll be a drafted letter that we send out, just letting them know, you know, based off of our records, this shows you used more than the allocated amount. Copy of the agreement, and probably send them a copy of the assessed units per business, just so they know that that's, you know, what they,
I'd say then once it's agreed upon, then we get it back on the commission's agenda,
Yeah.
just under the solid waste policy.
yeah, I see that now that there's a second line for
Yeah.
commissioner chair to sign on that agreement.
Yeah, they could have a line item, basically, I mean, if we're doing a bunch of them every week, have them on, or whatever's easiest.
Under this, the
Solid waste,
road and bridge.
yeah,
Solid waste, okay.
so, yeah, won't hold up anything.
Just more signatures.
All righty, well, thank you, everybody, and a couple minutes early, we'll move into the next one, it's the yearly fuel tax certification of roadway mileage. We have the packet right here, this will give us a few more minutes to look at, we'll have to set it out. We just gotta approve what they're saying, I'll go ahead and lay it out, so.
would it work there maybe?
This is the one that we have to sign, this has to go back to. That is helpful. I had you. Current mileage, if we got this last week and I put it on agenda, so we're all here. And the current mileage was 717.213, secondary and urban system is 32.791, and the total will go to 750. So the adjusted mileage is 32. Usually we just go by what they do. And, I mean, if you can see something on there that you want changed or adapted, but it's usually, if they kind of go through every year and add a little more. And this is for the use that, we get the money for, and it's if a two-wheel drive vehicle can access these roads.
So does it have a legend here for what is taxed, or are they all taxed?
It's all tax on what they
All
want.
these are
Yeah.
taxed.
Yeah, what they say right
Okay.
there. It's the same as last year,
Okay.
Lance, they just, they
Yeah.
upped it again
Yeah.
this year, so we kinda just let it go by what they keep adding, they go out and look and take care of this,
This is a
okay?
little easier than what last year's map
Yeah.
was.
Yeah,
It was really horrible.
it's more clear and you
Yeah.
can see actually a
Yeah.
lot better. I looked through in my district already and I think it looks good, but that's just my opinion.
So they count Forest Service roads here too then, or? Okay.
Some of them are just to the access, so we get that tax, just to that access, like to
access.
get there, and it's probably gated, but you can
Yeah.
actually get to
Get
it,
to it,
like a
yeah.
trail or
Yeah.
something. And this map, will once we make a motion, I think we can sign it, and it has to go back. Interesting what they, how they look at it.
So
Looks like all the roads in my
does
district.
this get Travelers Home Road?
And the,
Does that get right here? That a road that gets,
just the first part of, right there when you turn off to get to the valleys, and then, yeah, not the other end of it, but that piece going through, I think that's subdivision part.
oh, okay,
But, yeah, you can see it goes there.
Yeah.
And then it
okay,
comes
I
around
see.
from the other side, and that's in
This
there.
one goes up in the Madison, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, they look it over pretty good, I don't. No, it seems,
So does the whole map have to go back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah, it has to be signed, the whole thing has to go back,
By all of us or just you?
just
So, yeah, you just signed for this one and then,
here, it's just the same
okay,
signature that we just agreed, we're gonna retain the motion except, and that's like $70, and that's for sand and gravel. So, and then we can actually use it on that stuff or other places, so it's something that we pretty much go every year for. They treated us really good, so.
Yeah. Who does this?
Department of Transportation.
I'm for it, looks good to me.
So,
I'll do that for it.
I'll go ahead with after the motion and, I'll entertain the motion on accepting the gas tax.
I'll make a motion that we accept the Granite County fuel tax for 2025.
I accept or second it.
Public comment. Scott McDonald, go ahead. Oh, no, that was you, your little hand, oh, sorry. Your little hand. All in favor? Alright, motion been carried and passed.
Right away.
I got the main part on the front. That feel right.
Good thing I saved that.
Yeah, it kept back. Holy bucket. Gee, that'll work out. Right, we got about, 15 more minutes. Till we go to USDOT build grant auction for local roads and everything. And that's an update with Blaine. Did we get the dam report? Did I lose it?
Should be in there.
Yeah, I think that was shoved in my.
Should be in order.
Um,
I hate when you have to take your glasses to see that.
Well,
You get a 5 foot.
Yeah, they're progressive, but I have to go like this, to-
Oh, to get it.
otherwise that.
Or stuff around here for
Yeah.
the lines. If we're on.
Yeah, no, that's kind of his specialty is grant stuff. I guess that's what he centers on, and you just wonder what's going on there.
Right, and then the next one too, for like the cultural and arts, I wonder if
Yeah.
that'd be like for the museum, maybe?
I'm thinking he might be, the way he mentioned, he might be working with them possibly on something.
Yeah,
But it's kind of interesting on that C-Pace that the Stevens Hotel is interested in.
yeah,
That would be something to be
Yeah,
able to, but that's gonna cost like,
can I imagine what that's gonna cost to.
it's just, I think the staircase is the only thing that's in there.
yeah, it just does.
I think there's a lot of work done too, to see if the brick had been taken, keep standing there, I think
Yeah,
a few years ago.
We got a couple minutes. Do we, well, we're gonna do that DOT thing so we can get it on the agenda. So we can get the name out. Or take people that are applying for the job, the road.
Oh, for the road department?
Yeah. When was we gonna do that meeting to go over that public safety? So we know what higher, right?
Kind of a new policy.
Yeah, we talked about it last week a little bit, and I said I should have brought it up to the road and
Yeah.
bridge. My bad. I guess we'll talk to Jackie and figure out what she found on it, cause she gave us some info. I'll get a hold of her this week and we'll see about putting it on for next Tuesday and start seeing what we have to do to make
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, we absolutely wanna be,
Yeah. I'll talk to Jackie and then I'll see about getting it on the agenda for next
Okay.
week.
so we'd have to set policy for new hires.
Yeah.
On the job training before they ever get on equipment. And so they can't say they haven't been trained
Right.
and they need proof and sign off sheets and stuff, right?
Right. Yeah, and like I said, I'll get a hold of her, cause she gave us that
Yeah.
info and get everything in line and then see if we have time to put it on for next week or the week after, so make sure we have everything in order.
Yeah. So that would be, right, Blaine, we'd have to set a policy
For
Yeah.
iron,
where new hires get trained on equipment. And it has to be a training on the job training with a sign off sheet, a check off sheet.
Yeah.
you know,
It,
And then the
and
safety.
there's some
training.
already there, you're talking about like kind of amending existing policy, then?
yeah,
Okay.
amending the existing, but making
Okay.
sure we go through it. well.
Yeah, so you can have that on the agenda here.
Yeah, and there's nothing where they, I don't know, the safety training that we take or they take now doesn't really pertain to them.
Yeah, we just gotta
And
update,
we have to update something that pertains to them that they have to have every year.
cause they've changed some stuff on it.
Yeah.
I'll make sure and get with her this week. I'll probably go
Did you see
see her,
anything that you
go see her tomorrow.
want to comment on? All you have to do is go online and look them up.
Right.
Did you want? You want to look through these? These are, I guess it's on,
Back,
Yeah, you can put it on the
They were
website and have a
priority.
discussion next week real quick.
they were priority
Yeah.
hearings for February 26th, and then we have, I have in February 25th.
we can put it on the agenda for next week and then that way it gives us,
There isn't,
it's up to you.
no.
We're not doing it then. I got to go over there.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Said I did random, we walked the halls and entered meetings and randomly just that when we were at the Capitol to listen in just to see procedures on how committees are run. There wasn't anything that I took notes. It wasn't anything that I felt that it was my obligation to take notes to bring it back to you guys and
We have they have that printout there, so, we could put that on, put online, guys' website.
It's probably already online. She could go in,
Yeah.
somebody can go in and look online on the legislature if they wanted something, they could call and put it on the agenda.
so on the gas tax things, we have a couple minutes.
Right.
What was it that we got extra?
It's adjustment on some of them rural roads that they expanded out further. Some of them have been fixed up by the Forest Service and that, so if they can still, they're driving around and just checking, seeing if it actually meets what they're saying.
Yeah.
Kind of up to them, and then we agree and disagree. They might see a road, just say Edwards Gulch. It's good all the way up, but then it's blocked off. But
Right.
yet they can get there, and they moved that gate back a ways due to the fact because it was on private property.
Oh,
So that gave us another so many feet, yeah.
One thing I do is, potentially take, some copies of that, even if it's in segments, so we have them.
We, yeah, we made the motion, agree it's on that great big map.
Yeah,
And-
but that has to get sent in.
Yeah.
Keeping like copies, even if it's like parts of it, I think that can do pretty big copies. And
Yeah.
That
that's what
or
they said.
last year, they actually sent us a small, you can ask the Department
Oh,
of
is it?
Transportation, we had a smaller one that they sent back just after we got
Oh,
that
okay.
in.
Oh, okay.
And then they still gotta approve it, and then we get the,
Okay, I think.
yeah. And we can apply, or, you know, just make them, send them a letter and just say, can we have a smaller version of it, but they gotta go over it now. How do you guys?
Let's do
I guess winter's back, huh?
it. Yeah.
It's kind of trying to dry up just a little bit and then here we
Yeah.
go
Yeah,
again.
back to Bud Nine, so.
Mud, ice.
We got about 2 inches in Maxville last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's kind of snow country up there.
Mhm.
What did we get? An inch?
Was raining first.
Couple inches. Rain underneath it too.
Yeah, we
Slick.
did. I think it's going in the ground good.
I think the ground gets thawed out, Scott.
Yeah.
Like those big piles are melting and it's going somewhere.
Well, I've seen quite a few people are really starting to dig in that. It's like.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
them Blackfoot people, they
Blackfoot's on the
break
front of the
through
road,
about,
Yeah,
yeah,
back at it again.
Yeah.
and it's dry. They get down about 6 inches, I mean, it's dry.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, you saw them working on the frontage road, yeah, along there.
Yeah,
They're really digging,
huh?
they're really digging a trench in there.
Yeah, they had a couple, some people called me, or, you know, and that's on the state.
Yeah,
They're upset with what they're leaving, the way it looks. I said, well, they'll fix it when, it dries out. They're mixing that snow with the dirt, you know, I guess.
yeah,
No, it's still.
Yeah.
I didn't put it on and that. I talked to the Blackfoot guy, Jason, or whatever his name is.
so good at six, yeah. But, yeah. Getting on, all better. Are they done with the lines out your way, or are they still?
Miss some stuff,
Yeah.
they bounce around, I can't
Yeah.
figure out what they do.
Yeah, it's a little disjointed, isn't it?
Well, they start one spot and then about 3 days later, everything's gone and then.
And then they're coming back and starting.
Yeah.
Now, one time he said it's because they couldn't get help and then they're trying to get them newer contracts and then guys,
Yeah.
contractors coming in and.
Yeah, that is one of their issues, getting contractor, or the subcontractor getting employees.
And they brought in people from, I don't know where some of those guys
Yeah.
are from, long ways away.
I see Oregon plates, there was some from Wyoming. And I mean, yeah, there's some out there a long ways you read on the side of the pickups.
Prosecuted a couple of the Orland.
Way to take their help away.
Yeah.
They're supporting the county too, come on, Lane.
Making it safe for you.
No wonder they're not getting anything.
They're getting meals, but they're not getting the job done.
Work release. You're taking out the
So we anticipated 139,668 from gas caps. Was there some special? Was there some Barca or something like that?
I think there was, cause there was in that fund that we get that extra money for culverts, remember? And then, but this stuff can only use before.
So are we gonna get that again this year?
I think it's gone. I think that's, we gotta look into that during budget. Once she
Okay.
brings it in, then we can make the call and see actually how much we're getting from gas tax and then that ARPA funding or something that was that extra money we have to put in that.
Was it Barca or something? What
It was.
remember?
Yeah, the,
Cause we got the gas tax from our
I'm trying to think,
allocation and then we got more from something.
but one part of it's gone, right, and
Yeah.
another part of it's staying.
Yeah, and that's what we was having in their mind and look into through sealing them bridges and stuff if it can actually. That's gonna be some grant stuff they're gonna have to have people go for.
Yeah.
Cause they don't think it's just, you're gonna hand it out and you have to try to try to get. Randy, well, we'll go ahead on the next agenda item, about a minute early. And this is on the US DOT bill grant option for local roads and area update with Blaine Bradshaw discussion. Is that what you guys are here for?
All we can do, listen to the lake.
Oh, So, Blaine Bradshaw, Granite County Attorney, so when the homeowners, lake homeowners are here a few weeks ago, they talked about how, Bill Everett, the CEO of Anaconda Dodge County, had some ideas on some grant funding. And so I reached out to him, he chatted, on the phone. I just wanted to give you an update on that, here, last few years, the Anaconda Deer Lodge County applied for a build grant through the US Department of Transportation and got, received over 20 million for the Mill Creek Road. And I was always thinking that was a state highway, but it's a county paved road.
The Mill Creek is?
Yeah, Mill Creek is a county. So they got 20 million from, US Department of Transportation build grant. They also had $1 million grant, a match that was, the state legislature actually funded, that was through a House bill. He was just had the preliminary thought of the Forest Service, Anaconda Deer Lodge County and Granite County teaming up to apply for a build grant, for the roads around Georgetown Lake. He didn't specify which ones, I'm assuming upper, lower Georgetown Lake Road and Lakeshore at least. So, this is real preliminary, saying in DC, things are, things should wait until the smoke settles a little bit and see if it's gonna be funded, and then if it is, that build grant program, and meet and try to go after funding. There would need to be a planning study, so that each party would likely need to put up 10,000 to get the planning grant. That'd be for the grant writers, and then once the planning grants, if it's received, they do the engineering on the project, and then we'd have to go back to apply for the build grant for the actual project. And so he's not thinking that he's already talked to representatives, there's probably not funding for a big match. So if you do receive the big grant, it'd be each of the parties doing a prorated share of a match. So, but sounds like a good thing to at least look at.
So that's down the road.
He wants to see if it's actually gonna be funded here first before, and then if it is, he's in close contact with Senator Daines' office, Bill Everett is. So as soon as he knows, he'll reach out to us and
We can
get-
sit
yeah.
down with them and go over
yeah.
it.
So it'd be 10,000 on the initial planning grant for that match, and then potentially
So
a
you,
few 100,000 on a.
would you apply for the planning grant then? Would you have to apply for the grant?
So you have to apply for the planning grant first, get the plans for it, get it engineered. And then once you have that in place, then you apply for the main grant.
So would each, like would Anaconda Deer Lodge, the Forest Service and Granite County each have to do a planning grant? Or would
It
it
would
be
be combined, one grant, but with everyone putting in monies for the grant writing and for the cost of getting the grant done.
And they're
the application.
thinking each one has to put in, so it'd be like 30,000.
Just for the initial planning grant. But once you receive the main grant, there'll be a substantial match required.
Yeah.
So that's where a person start reaching out and like some of that up there. We'd have to do the mileage on, just say Lake Shore or whatever, and then try to
Yeah,
break it down.
have to figure out what roads want to be included in the grant. I don't know that you need to know that in the planning stage, but I mean, I definitely get that planning grant that they're actually engineering the road, so you need to know at that time, yeah.
So it would be the loop around the whole lake.
Because that's something you'd have to consider.
So all would have to,
Yeah.
thinking probably between us, Deer Lodge and
And Forest Service.
Forest Service,
Yeah.
are all gonna be fighting for which roads, or we have to have
But
by agreement somewhere.
We might get some out of the homeowners too to help us try to get this so we can get going, because we're gonna need some backing on this. I mean, our money's is not the best, so guys gonna have to reach out there too.
yeah, Anaconda Deer Lodge received, it was 20 million plus for the Milton Creek Road, and I'm not sure if they're completed with the project or not, but they've worked on it.
I think they're done with it
All right, that's not good.
a couple of years ago, I think.
So the homeowners also talked to Bill Everett, so they're aware of it. The Forest Service, Gina
Yeah.
knows about it.
So would you go and ask to like Fish, Wildlife and Parks where, you know, all the boats and that, and they're, you know, I think a person,
Yeah,
they're, you know, they advertise for it up there, and they're the ones with them trailers, and they're killing the roads so
worth,
bad.
yeah,
Maybe gotta
worth
get
going
something
in,
out of
yeah.
them.
Historically, they haven't, but it's worth going to
One time they gave us death abatement, and then they said they couldn't give nothing else to a government agency. Well, maybe we were all going in and it's to help them too.
them, yeah. When you look at those fishing access sites over on the, you know, Comers and things, those are Forest Service though, but, yeah, there are people, the fishermen are using that, you're right.
All right, is there any public comment on this?
The one thing he emphasized was that just, it's so preliminary, you don't know if it's, Congress is gonna fund it or not, so it's,
It might not be funny
Yeah.
left
Yeah.
day to day now.
So it is, but we don't have to make a motion unless how we realize what's going on.
yeah, it was just update and, Bill Everett will get back with
Okay,
it.
it was just a discussion. Thanks,
Yeah.
Wayne. We'll move ahead and to the dam tenders report. And it's, last week was at 9.12, well, this week it's 8.88, and we were sitting at 15 coming out. And this is, last week we talked about it, I mean, we're gaining pretty good, and we was talking about to have it on, so if we needed to move it up a little bit more, just so we don't have it, you know. And we have a letter from Fish Wildlife, they're against us moving it up. So I guess I just entertain some, a motion with you guys and see what you think.
There was some other public comment, did you see that?
Well, I think we got
Yeah,
some.
we want the motion first, but.
I think we'll get the motion
Okay.
first and then we can have it, then we can adjust or whatever.
Yeah, I just need to receive the letter too, an email.
I didn't see that one.
Okay, so we have one agency that says no, then it's no.
They need all three agencies consent.
Yeah. All looking for this, do you have a comment?
We were just curious what, you know, what the plan was for the water in the creek is like.
Could you state your name, Sam?
Yeah, sorry, I'm sorry. You know, we're the first irrigators below the dam, so we only get what comes out of the dam. And last summer was pretty bleak. And there's a group of us that try to work together, but it always ends up somebody short. And it seemed like last year the water went down the creek early, the dam didn't fill completely, and then we were down to just a 30 CFS or last all summer. We're just curious if we were gonna be looking at that again this summer, or I'm sure, you know, obviously nobody knows. So you guys are between a rock and a hard place with all the different agencies, us, for dam safety, you know, we get it. We just like to see as much water during irrigation season as we can get.
No, Blaine?
One thing, looking at Todd Blythe's report, it talked about letting the 15 CFS out, that there'd be, I think, my understanding is 60 CFS in June, is what his report was, but had some comments from Pat Verlanik saying that he thinks the moisture is going into the ground, and so we wanted to keep the levels lower releases right now. That was his thought.
Comments? Or most?
Well, I mean, there's 8 inches of moisture right now in Peterson Meadows for water equivalent. For March is usually the month of getting your big water snowpack, so. I motion to keep it at 15 for another week. Since we are climbing or gaining.
I'll second that.
Public comment? Go ahead, Scott McDonald. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yep.
What are the repercussions if it goes over the spillway?
What's what?
The repercussions if the dam spills?
Shouldn't have any, cause we've updated and did all the warranty work and that, we'll have a little bit, just depends on, you know, down a little bit, how bad it's gonna move, that gravel's been sitting there. Blaine?
Well, so the last time it went over the spillway, there was litigation threatened, and then FERC was notified. Though FERC asked for our response on that, and then they never did make a ruling.
The thing on that, when the last time we did it was right after they did that work and the rooster tail, thank God that we did it. In fact, them rooster tails came up in that seal, them seals they put in, they had to go in and redo them, otherwise that was one of the main reasons I made the motion
Yeah.
to let it go over, just to make sure it was gonna work.
I'm just saying what the lake owners were saying, is that there was damage done to the other side of the lake. FERC, in that situation, there was a lot of snow there late, and I recall in April and May, and so it was tough for the county commission to be able to.
And it's like with Fish, Wildlife and Parks and that, them to tell us that, you know, they don't agree with this and they get the other agencies and we're stuck. Then when it goes over, where are they at? They never have to answer to us and we're the ones that are sitting there and then we get the problem of people getting flooded out. How can they sit here and dictate us and tell us what to do and then when it comes down to it, they all hide? I don't agree because we never used to have to, and now all of a sudden it's like, they've taken over, and what in the hell do they do to help us on the dam? Nothing. I'm frustrated every time that they tell us how to run it and do it, but do they ever give us anything for it? And they get stuff out of it, they get fish and camp and boat and everything. Why shouldn't they have to give us something to help with the dam?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I get frustrated, I guess it's gotta stop. They never answer, you know, they're not on again today, but boy, if that went over a little bit, they're going to.
FERC's never gonna amend their order, but I hear your frustration.
Who's that?
Elena.
Go ahead, Elena, public comment on the dam tenders report.
The dam tender report.
What it
Okay.
says.
Thank you. I'm just wondering, Blaine is giving some kind of update and letters and stuff. I don't see that on the website. So is that going to be uploaded to the website regarding this conversation?
He was, called on the phone and they were just wanting me to make comments. They didn't write in or nothing, I'm just going by a phone call.
There was the email from Caverlandic it's on the website. It's on the website.
Under correspondence.
It's under correspondence.
Thank
It's-
you, man.
It's under correspondence. Okay, because I'm sorry, it's hard to follow when you don't know what the documents are pertaining to this conversation. And again, I have property up in that area and I am concerned about the dam and the flow and FERC. And I won't say my comment regarding FERC. It's the county's choice that they want to generate electricity. So maybe hydrodynamics should have something to do with contributing. Thank you.
Scott McDonald. I think I cut you off. You hear us?
Just a comment. Why don't we call it what it is? It's a reservoir. That's not a lake.
Correct, sorry.
And maybe that would solve some problems.
That's a good point. I tried to put in my emails Georgetown Lake Reservoir. But it's not gonna change FERC's position, but I hear what you're saying. I agree.
We can change that on the agenda too, and now Georgetown Reservoir instead of Georgetown Lake, where it's there. We can make that change anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe next week we'll just go to the Georgetown reservoir near Phillipsburg. We can change all that.
I think we just, I get motion, just stay up another week, cause it's supposed to be back up into the 50s by the end of the week, and if we get a bunch of rain and that comes out quick, it's really gonna fill fast.
Well, they're against it already, so I mean, they won't agree with it, wasting our time. Wasting our time, and it's, you see what, well, you've been in this long enough, you see it.
I've known about it for a long time.
And we kind of motioned to that 20 just for that initial 55-degree temperature for a week straight in case it, you know, everything was frozen, it came out.
Hard place all the time with this thing, and the hydro just complicated it even further.
Well, I think,
Compared to what it used to be back in the old days.
and on that comment, I think a guy should put maybe next week that we go to 20, so we already have it in, otherwise we're another week behind. So if we put it in and just send it out again, that next week we might move it up to 20, we can actually do it on that day, otherwise we're
Yeah,
another.
if you want me to.
Yeah, I'll motion stay at 15 and ask again for 20 in case we need to do it.
Okay, second.
Public comment? No public, all in favor? Aye, motion been carried and passed, thanks for coming in, appreciate it. Yeah, let's
Thanks.
try to get hold of it, when you need it, get the banks, keep them wet, knowing at least we can actually get water through you.
But it does look like it's gonna fill this year, because that's gonna be a better scenario than last. I guess a lot can change too.
I mean, even this week, we gained way more this week than we did the week before, the first time, we got 15 out. We gained
Yeah.
double from where we did that week.
Yeah, there's some warm days in there.
I'm learning.
Yeah. That's all, yeah.
Thanks. What else you know?
Oh, March.
Quite a bit of digging starting.
Yeah, so it's been doing a little bit. It's getting there. The ground like down on Rock Creek is all dry. I mean, scary dry. So that tells you that there's not a lot of moisture in that snow. It's just going away and the ground's still dry underneath.
Went up to Libby this weekend, and I've never seen Flathead that low, and a lot of them guys are saying they did it. Cause they figured it's gonna fill back, but you look up in the tops and all the mountains up there, it's gone. And I mean, they're digging, they're already putting in subdivision roads, and it was dusty.
Springtime.
But yeah, I've never seen it that low.
But it
There's
took too much
20
out.
feet below that.
Wow.
They figure it's gonna fill, I don't know where it's gonna come from. Swan's got quite a bit of snow, you get on this side, it's dry.
Huh? Yeah, I mean, this snow, like, what's the snow back right now, 70-some%?
No, we're like 104.
Are we?
Peterson
That
Meadows.
much?
Yeah, it's hard for them, Peter.
8%, okay.
Numbers
And
up
last
there, they
year
don't.
wasn't like 80 this time, last year.
Yeah,
Peterson
probably
I think
Meadows.
so, 78.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to turn her all off of Flathead. Swan and some of them, see if they got some, but it was going pretty quick this weekend, you can see them still fishing out there. Heck, well, there's some boats out on Flathead.
Well, out in the middle there, it never freezes, in some of those spots, yeah.
It don't look good up there, but I guess they got a plan.
Well, that's like with this lake, I mean, nobody has a crystal ball with the reservoir. Nobody has.
Best guess.
You don't know if you can keep it as close to full as you can without creating a hazard. It's interesting that the homeowners have never in the past, I never heard them say that it was too full. Last year was the first time I recall hearing that. Blew my mind, I thought, it used to be not enough, not enough, not enough, not enough, not enough. They wanted it trickling over the spillway all the time. And then last year was too much. And maybe
Yeah.
lower.
It's kind of like they
But then
think we
it's
can
true.
just stop it and keep it just perfect for their docks. It's like, holy shit, you
Yeah.
gotta try that.
That's why I go on with Todd Blythe's reports, cause he's good, those models are the best.
That's the best
Estimate.
information.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Means that getting warmer now, we'll probably have to be starting getting it a couple times, you know, in months, just to make sure we're staying with what he recommends, and we got paper trail.
Wasn't there a thing about airspace under the ice years ago too? with releasing water early before the ice came.
Oh, I thought that was due to the fish, and Fish and Game was worried about the oxygen coming to them, cause they had a big fish kill.
Wayne
And maybe
had
they
it.
planted
Yeah.
it, if I remember right, so I mean, you guys.
It was a
did
guess,
probably-
but yeah, I tried to blame that on the, yeah.
Yeah, we dropped a bunch and that did, that was the fluctuation when it freezes and. It was a cold,
Yeah.
hard ice, it never had much moisture in it, it was just that solid.
It's not a fear of anything with the dam being too full. There's no hazard if the dam going, if it's too full or anything like that.
Well, we can put out 45 on one side and we can actually open them other new valves up and dump them down. We could be putting out 100 and, 110 going out of there with both. And then that weir, they're gonna find out, we cleaned it out again last year and that thing just fills up all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
We gotta get a special permit to clean that now.
And with those valves, they can dump a lot of water, but you're getting damaged down below with too high.
Well, it's just that we try to hold and you feed it down through there so we're not flooding out. Remember, cause it's like for Pat and you guys get that, we hit that pretty hard that year where it goes through your head gate there. A lot of shit come down there.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I think it was at 174 at one point, and that
I
was pretty,
remember that.
that was pretty
Yeah.
western, yeah. We tried to
Well, it builds up so much, and I mean, it cleans the creek out, but it's bringing a lot of sediment down through there.
And then you have to do the same thing, you have to get permits to get in the creek and work on those structures and replace them and.
We had that big windstorm that broke off in Branson that gets in there, and I mean, nobody,
It's tough.
they get that around, but nobody helps to clean it.
No.
All righty, well, we're gonna move ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
guys, have a good day.
You too.
So we're a little behind. It's a commission inspection of bonds for MCA 742213 discussion decision.
Don't need to,
Go ahead.
so the only, performance bond we have is on the elevator bathroom project through TCS. And it's in effect, so, don't think you need to do much more than just, I think, I mean, you do a motion that you acknowledge that it's in place and binding.
That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I motion that the bond is in place. I do.
I'll second it.
Public comment? Being none, all in favor?
I,
Alright, motion carried. We have to sign this?
No,
Just.
it's already issued and.
Just proof of that.
Yeah, it's proven.
Okay, all right, we'll try to get caught. Next one's a resolution 2025 of Granite County is resolution establishing a county seed paste program, second reading of this season.
Ashley's gonna come back for this.
We asked her, she said she was.
Yeah, we gonna give her.
There she comes.
Oh. He's listening to
Get there.
Let's go in on
You again.
me again, thorn in your side.
I think we had a couple of questions, or you think that one's for her?
Yeah, the only question I had was if you were looking, if we wanted to put the admin fee on with this, would let you talk to other treasurers.
Yeah, I have not heard back. I reached out to one treasurer in Jefferson County, they are implementing this for 2025. And they have one person that's gonna so far be a part of the program. I don't know if it is something that you can do as a initiation fee, like when you do a tax assignment, you get charged $35 to put an assignment on a property. So I don't know if it's something we could do for just a one-time putting the assessment on, because the reoccurring part of it won't add much to the workload. It's gonna be that initial setup of that. So I don't know if that's something that we could do. I would definitely be,
I think you can, but well, I would suggest having the program go for a year and see how it goes, because I don't think you're not gonna have a flood. See how it goes over a year and then you can always add it, but it's up to the commission, whatever your advice.
It's probably just, I mean, there's only be a select few projects for this probably.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but yeah, so I see that it's being, yeah, it's tough on your office than doing a fee would be good, I think.
It's
Using a lot of your time.
It's not gonna be much more work than what we already do, honestly. It's gonna be a lot of working with the Department of Revenue, to get things implemented, and that might be the hardest part, since they are going through some changes right now, our local offices. They've lost some people and they're gaining some people. I don't think that it's necessary. Honestly, if you have 4 people that participate in it and you charge $100 fee upfront to get that on the tax roll, it's not benefiting the county that much, honestly, and it's not adding that much to my.
I'd take a wait and see approach and see how it goes for first year and take a look at it.
Did you have a comment, Carolyn? That flash, but maybe it just didn't come up.
Carolyn, she wasn't on there.
No, I just called in case there were any questions I might answer.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Carolyn, to your knowledge, are there any county treasurers that charge a admin fee?
At this time, no.
Thank you.
You're
That's
welcome.
So I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we get resolution 2025-7 adopting
Fine.
wrong one,
Yeah. That's five.
-5.
Yeah,
I don't have -5.
I had it. Sorry.
A Granite County resolution establishing a Granite County PACE program.
I'll second that motion.
Public comment? Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. Lena Gagliano for the record. I believe last week, somebody made mention of the Stevens Hotel in the town of Phillipsburg. And I don't think the town of Phillipsburg has agreed to this CPAC. This is only the county. And there's a lot of controversy so far about certain people that are coming into the town. So am I correct in saying that this hasn't been presented to the town yet and that they haven't agreed to it? Yes or no?
Glenn?
So correct, the town hasn't decided upon this, but if the county does approve it, anyone in the county can use this program. And so that's not excluding towns because they haven't approved it. And so, in fact, yeah, so the county approves this now, anyone in the county that qualifies to use the program.
And may I make a comment?
A
Go ahead.
point of clarification on that, I'm not finished. Point of clarification, this applies only to the county, not to the entity called the town of Phillipsburg, which is a town, and they did not address this.
Glenn, then we'll go to Glenn,
But-
sorry.
It's really irrelevant because any business owner that qualifies in Granite County can use the program. So it doesn't need the blessing of the towns right now, basically. It's a legal entity, they'll cover anyone who wants to qualify to use it.
And and this correct, Carolyn, correct me if I'm wrong. The county approves this CPACE program, then it's approved for the county and it's not necessary to go to the towns. Am I correct, Carolyn?
Yes, that is correct.
Elena?
Thank you. That was a point of clarification that I was making. This applies only to the town. And the only reason why I made a reference is because somebody mentioned it about the Stevens Hotel. And so that has nothing to do with the county. It only has to do with the town. And that was the point I was clarifying, and it was clarified. Thank you.
Blaine,
I guess we didn't clarify it enough, because if the owners of the Stephen Hotel want to look into this program and they qualify, they can use it, because it's any business owner in Granite County. So it doesn't matter, they don't need the towns to sign off on it. The county signing off on it will allow anyone in the county to use it.
thank
They're
you.
qualified.
Thanks, Blaine. So on that motion, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
I,
Opposed? Aye. Motion been carried and passed. Thank you, everybody. I'll let you guys sign. Alrighty, we'll go ahead and jump into county board applications, appointments, and I have them in front of me. Thank you, Miranda. The first one would be from cemetery, Ellison Cash. I think it's Cash, and the other cemetery one was William L. Holmes. We have two for the cemetery. On the recommendation of that, with the motion.
I would recommend that we go ahead and, appoint Allison Cash. Being we only need one appointee for the Granite County Cemetery District. Cemetery 1.
Yeah. And the second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
I,
Been carried past. No public comment on that? Sorry.
Do you have the model letter to send out?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Alrighty, the next one's for the compensation board. And how many do we have? Just that one, right? And then I think there's just one, and Vicky Harding's applying for it.
That's two vacancies, but just the one out.
so who's vacant? Who's the other vacancy?
Who isn't doing it anymore?
Yeah.
It's Jack Owens and Anna Bergerson are not. Kathy Smith is the only one on it.
So as long as we have two residents, right,
Yeah.
that still can
Yeah.
work with
Yeah, it's in
the
the
compensation board.
Yeah.
I recommend we appoint Vicky Harding on the Granite County Compensation Board.
Or move to appoint.
Approve to appoint.
Move to appoint.
Second it.
Public comment? Being none, all in favor?
I,
On the comment on this, I was approached wondering if we need to talk if somebody's been on there and they're not showing up to meetings and their bylaws say that if they're missing all the meetings, that how do you,
They, I would say they first should send them a letter asking why, but then if they're continuing, then bring it to the commission for, the county commission to remove.
they've actually said that they've gone to the person and they've asked them to send in an email so they can remove, so.
Or
Now
if they-
do I go to the head of the department that it's in and make sure we get it in writing?
Yeah, but if they don't resign, then bring it to the commission to review it and decide.
Alright, thanks.
Even these volunteer positions, you should, looking at the law, you should have cost removal, but that not attending the meeting is
so
cost.
it says something in the bylaws, am I correct, that you miss so many meetings?
You missed three
Yeah.
in a year that you're,
The airport bylaws have them, I'm sure others do.
okay, well, I'll go to the head of the department, just mention it to them and go from there.
To the chair of the board, okay.
Alrighty, so go ahead and move ahead to resolution 2025-7, county resolution adopting a new hazard mitigation plan with amendment, second reading and discussion.
One reason the numbering is off a little bit is because we had that Mako one that was in between. The way I like at doing them is just doing them in the order that they're drafted, because then we're continually having to go back and forth, but if you guys wanted a different way, I think.
And on this note, I read the clock wrong, we had 15-20 minutes, but I already said we'll go ahead with the rest, sorry. Any public comment on this, seems I jumped into it too soon?
I wonder if there people are gonna be on just for this one.
We can wait. it's
Yeah,
fine.
okay.
I read the clock wrong. We'll go ahead and wait then we can, let's go off for a personnel matter and then we can tell if somebody comes on for a question.
We should know about technology.
Was that the projector?
No, that's on them. That's Al.
You can be out here. if
Here you
want,
can
I'll
see.
sit back there.
You're not on camera. You can go, you can see what they see. There,
Oh, okay,
but this is for your setup.
okay. And this is, okay,
Yep.
can I test it or are you guys in
I think so.
session? We gotta do this.
Yeah, we gotta do-
Yeah, we'll
you
go
can-
ahead with resolution 2025-7. It's adopting a new hazard mitigation plan amendment.
It's the second reading.
Yeah.
I make a motion that that resolution 2025-7, adopting a new hazard mitigation plan with the addendum AA. Where is the addendum AA?
Right here.
In the paragraph there, second, the bottom.
This is the resolution.
Oh, I know.
But I thought that was just, because we had it last week. This is just,
Attached addendum AA. Yeah,
That was
probably all I got. If we wait for Blaine,
he's coming right now. We'll just wait for him. But I thought we had him in last week.
yeah,
I don't
he
know
did.
what, I must have.
And then he fixed this with the
typos
The
and
typos.
grammar.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta fix typos and grammar. I take took out of your vocabulary. No, I'm just kidding. They missed me last week. I wasn't here. That was a scoff.
He was coming down and he turned around and backed up.
Thought we were back on.
Well, I think he was trying to get that other function so we can sign that other one earlier this morning.
Oh, right.
Why can't you put it on monitor?
I'd have to be on her
Yeah,
computer.
this
Which
is
is-
controlling Zoom. So that's,
Just curious.
I can put it wherever you want me to put it.
Well, it's fine. Put it wherever I want.
I'm not even, I
Answer.
Anyway, we're waiting on Blaine to make sure that we're adopting this new hazard mitigation plan, right?
Just the. It's not perfect, but
Need a binder or something?
Well,
It's fine.
sick. Close enough.
We're older than Mineral County,
Are we?
it's 1893
What are they?
till 1914.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Didn't know that?
I knew we were in the 1800s, but I thought they were all amended pretty close. I didn't know there was that big a difference. Oh, that's pretty interesting.
The courthouse.
We're gonna have to
in
find you.
I'll move as soon as we get this done.
Paul, Matt.
Oh, and nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you. I think we met a long time ago when you and this is Genevieve, your wife,
Oh, yeah.
getting your address out on the ranch, but that's.
Oh, yeah,
Probably talked to her more than I did you.
probably. She's a smart one.
Yeah. I knew your sister Billy pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
Working with her, so
Here comes the boy.
nice to put a face to a name. I've known these guys a long time.
Right, too long, right?
Miranda's new, but.
Yeah, you know.
Wait, we have a motion out on the 2025-7. Was there something and it says with amendment AA, is that,
The addendum attached, where's that?
we have a second, we just, before we adopted it, we wanna make sure it was done right?
Yeah, you don't have that in your packet?
I did last week and.
Okay, I'll print it.
Sorry,
That's okay. I'll be right.
sorry, Blaine.
That's okay.
I had it, I don't know what I did with it.
Okay.
Threw it away.
It could be in here somewhere.
Sometimes I save your stuff and sometimes
Yeah,
it
clean this
disappears.
out.
Yeah.
You get those shelves.
I have a dump truck back up there in the search room.
I organized that one, kinda.
A lot of stuff there though.
Yeah.
No usually
That
right.
we ever.
Where are all the loose papers? They're just clipped
And
together.
they're documented somewhere else where you don't need it.
I had that.
You should have got that little desk out there that
Everyone
Jackie
wants to,
took, and
that's.
they just open up, go in there and shut the drawers.
Take me too long to go through each drawer. Be lost.
Have a file, well, that's how you gotta file it.
Yeah. You seen my filing at home, you say, now I understand what's going on.
Yeah, my desk is a record.
This is terrible.
I still have to pay taxes.
So, well, you get stuff, you don't even know what it means, and then I threw away a couple things from, and Carrie called me, said, did you get this?
No, I didn't.
No. And he said, I think you did. I'm like, huh, I don't know where I put it.
You sent it to me again, but I don't know where it is.
This is bad stuff that the US,
Huh? Oh, yeah,
we'll
just,
just throw that in the road thing.
okay, yeah, just, for after that.
It don't have to be on.
Yeah, I didn't, yeah,
There's
just for you guys.
Oh, do you need to sign them? Do we all need to sign these? Or look at them, the time cards?
I looked them over and then when I get the other stuff, then I sign that. These are, he just was bringing some,
These are
this,
just,
that new style.
yeah.
This is that letter that we saying that Billy hasn't been on, there's not here no longer. And that got sent out, right?
Yeah.
I'm still doing that.
I'd keep
Did I have that in there?
full-
That was it.
Say your number.
I do.
Miranda, I forwarded it to Billy.
Payback's hell. Miranda and I got a whole big thing when this bird comes again.
No.
She's gonna be here.
I
The end
know,
of the month, I told her, I'm like, oh, you can just come on in.
I
for
told
the
her, yeah,
meeting.
come see us.
Yeah.
Old times
We'll put
say,
you to work.
I'll let you take your minutes.
Right, everyone can ask you, where did you put this? Where did you put that?
Yeah, we'll do a quick
Yeah.
recap and let you go.
We'll folder over here. And part of his.
Part of it.
Like smiling over there.
Yeah. I think we're actually good.
Oh, you want-
Yeah, see, this is that DOT thing I bring up. I just think we need to sit down and go over this. It's gonna take a little bit to figure out this, that. See, I knew where this was.
Don't get a copy of that, we did, didn't we?
Mhm.
Wonder where I did that. Might be in the pictures. Or it's on my lips.
We're just waiting for Blaine to sign that other, and then we'll jump into the other.
No worries. I'm here for the day, so.
Well, don't make this all day.
No,
You're buying lunch and beer.
Just had to draw something up for like estimate of. You know, what you charge out of equipment for, you know,
So is this,
for future
Mhm.
stuff.
okay,
So we kind of have a rough idea of what it costs to maintain a road.
I think I just put it in a folder, we
Yeah.
put it in the,
Then we'll know where it is for
Right.
when we need it.
Alright, sign the third.
all right, we have the amendment with us right now. I did have it last week, I don't know where I put it. So, any public comment on this? I already got a motion accepted in second. Being none, all in favor?
I,
Aye, motion been carried and passed.
Always, always. Sold them all.
That need all of us or?
Yeah.
We're gonna go ahead with the online GIS viewer to replace the Arc Reader program with Matt Pierce. He's present. He'll show us what's going on, discussion decision.
Right, I'll give you.
Go ahead, Matt.
okay. I'm just gonna hit that again so that we can. Yeah, it's coming on. Lights are. Decided to go over there.
camera, action.
That's good. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, modern technology.
Yep. So I wanted to show this to you guys. Basically, you've had.
Could you state your name and stuff?
Oh, absolutely. Matt Pierce from Mapping and Planning Specialists. And I support the county with ongoing mapping and addressing for the enhanced 911 system. And we've developed the geographic information system for the county. For the last 15 years or so, we've relied on Arc Reader, which is a free version of the mapping software that I use to maintain all of the data for the dispatch center. It's a stripped down version of the full software. That's why it's free. Basically a viewer, but that viewer has to be installed on every single device that's using it. So I had it on all of the MDTs for the deputies. I had it on Sarah Graham's computer in the clerk and recorder, Becky's, Brandy's, Jackie Bolster, Vicky Harding had it over in the treasurer's office, et cetera, et cetera. And everybody was using it to view the map data that the county has. Unfortunately, the maker of that software, ESRI, has sunsetted the Arc Reader software, so it's no longer available. You can actually still download it, but they're not supporting it in any way. And so basically it's getting put away. And so I worked with Mineral County, who's another one of our clients, with a gentleman by the name of Joe Rhodes, who works for Civic Lens, which is a consultant like myself out of Missoula, to develop an online public map that would replace the Arc Reader setup. And it would be hosted online. So ESRI has servers that we can push data up to when they host the data, and then we, view it, and users can consume it readily. So that's the reason I came today, was to sort of demo this for you, but then, you know, imagine you would be using something very similar. So if we go to Mineral County and we click on departments and go down to environmental health and planning and pan down to the bottom, and forgive me because he doesn't have, do you have a mouse for this? No.
Have a what?
Yeah, I do, I go get it.
Nah, it's okay. I think I can manage.
Like this a read only too then, right?
Yep, so basically, there's a disclaimer that says, you know, I read and understand this, etc. And so this is the map.
This is of mineral or ground?
Yeah.
This is mineral. Yep. So if I, this is a touch screen, okay. If I zoom in, it isn't the touch screen. Do you need the little fob thing?
Yeah, need the battery, need the tape. Double A, I'm gonna plug it.
Sorry, I don't know how to use his little touchscreen, but bottom line, this public map would replace the Arc Reader setup that's been in use for all of these different entities. And essentially you can go into the map and you can search for an address. And you basically can just type the first couple of characters on an address, and it, you know, fills it in for you. And then you can click on it and it will zoom to the location. Show which house it is, so it's highlighted in blue. And this is a public viewer, so we're, you know, had locked down the map. Word.
So can you get a picture of the house?
Yes. So if I go to photo link and I click on photo link, there's a picture of that house. That one was taken in 2005.
So is this a little more user friendly, do you think, than?
Very
our-
much so.
Yeah.
Yep. So I can click on additional property information and it pulls up sort of like a property information card. And the way I explain this is that a lot of people use Montana Cadastral. This is a merging or a marriage of Montana Cadastral on one side and the 911 GIS data that's local on the other, putting the two together. So you can see that, you know, it's dipping into the parcel information to show, you know, what's online for that particular property record. But if I pull this down,
So it's gonna help on the taxes, knowing what's out there too, so if you start going through and you can see houses that aren't on there, right?
so the first part that we showed you, or that I showed you, was the, oh, I heard it.
Thinking on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
there it
there
is.
you go.
Nice, okay, thanks. The first part that I showed you was the property information card. The second part underneath the structure, this is the GIS data. So we can see that it's a two-story white house, green trim, green shingle roof. You know, I've got the resident, I've got a phone number, an alternate contact phone number, and then the remarks, you know, if there was a grantor grantee, like Blanche had sold it, Scott had bought it, Blanche would be in the remarks column, was Blanche, now Scott, et cetera. And so you're seeing, you know, what's available on the 911 side of things. And then, you know, there's photos for it. This particular one has an additional structure that's on the property. So that shows up as a secondary button that you can, or look up that you can look at. So if we close that and go back into it, you can also, type in names. I'm gonna type in Short, because Andy Short is the emergency, well, he's actually the environmental health and planning director. So, I can click on that one and it pulls up the parcel. If I want to look at the actual structure, I can select the structure, whoops. And then it pulls it up down there and I can click the photo link again. There's his house.
This will be like so if they're headed to a fire, they can actually hit on that and more view than knowing the name of the driveway.
So two different things. Basically dispatch has a central square piece of software that is sitting at a prompt waiting for inbound 911 data coming in on a call. When it gets that inbound information, then it triggers the map to display. Dispatch is its own environment. In the deputies' rigs, we have put in another piece of software called ESRI Explorer, and it's a mobile map that can be used offline anywhere in the county. And those MDTs have a built-in GPS unit that is accurate enough that it shows their position on screen. And it's independent of the cellular network and it's independent of Wi-Fi. So if they drive off or out of Wi-Fi signal or cell signal, they can still see their position on screen and they can still see the map and be able to view and pan and query, where is this, et cetera, and see all the digital photos, et cetera. So we've actually got three different things going on. Dispatch has got its own thing. This Explorer app is for mobile users. And I grabbed Jackie Bolster's laptop today. She's gonna get the mobile map package and the Explorer package. Julie Goebel from the Department of Revenue, I just installed a GPS, a USB GPS so that she can see her position on screen with her laptop. And the reason that we've got these different things is because of the different environments. The mobile environment, we had to have something that would work with a PC, Windows-based environment, because that's what the MDTs are, but it also had to be able to work offline. So that's why we went to the Explorer app. They had Art Reader with a software patch that was written in 2013. And because every time Windows comes out with a new operating system, they had to keep rebuilding that patch. Well, the guy who wrote the code for it said, enough's enough, I'm tired of doing this, I'm not gonna do it anymore. So we had to replace stuff because we weren't getting upgraded software code. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So this is sort of the next step, I guess, for Granite County. And the nice thing about this is that you can put a link to this on your website, just like Mineral County did. Real estate agents, your title company, anybody who wants to, that's moved here and it was like, well, what school district am I in? I don't even know what voter district am I in, what commissioner district am I in. If I click that property information lookup and it pulls it up and I pan down, I can click these little tabs. I see I'm in Superior K through 12 schools. I'm in the Central Commissioner District, Airport Overlay District. If it's in an area for that, it's sort of like zoning. Township range and section. I can click on emergency service zones and I can see that, it's the sheriff's office for law. Yeah, the fire department is the Superior City Fire Department, Superior EMS. So these are all overlays that we've overlaid onto the map and it's picking up on those when you query that structure. So we get a lot of calls from people asking questions. And every time I answer that call, I go into the map and I look it up and I tell them what it is. They can do it themselves. It's sort of a self-serve side of things. So the nice thing is that the information is all online. When I make a change, like I go out into the field twice a year and I run around and map new construction, when I map it, I'm editing the live data. So when I hit save, that night, when I get back to Wi-Fi, it saves it up to the cloud. The next time Paul opens the map, he can see what I mapped. So if I go into Whiskey Flats and I map 5 new houses, the next day, you'll see those. I may not have all the fields filled in because, sometimes I don't know who owns it. I stumble into it because they didn't call us to get an address ahead of time. Or, maybe I'm running around out in the field, up on the north end and I stumble into a new house or a new cabin. I may not know who it is because the property hasn't split yet. And so I might be seeing the original 20 acres instead of the 10 acres that it got halved into. So it's a continuous process of improvement to catch all of the updates that happen. But the next month, when Sarah processes the deed transfers at my office, she'll see that Blanche sold it, he bought 10 and there was a split. Sarah Graham sends us the certificate of survey. We see, okay, this is what's happening, and then we can update the information. So, we're spending an awful lot of time answering questions for people, again, sort of self-serve. This will alleviate office calls, I hope. It will help, and it's more efficient because I can push this stuff up online and I don't physically have to come here, plug in a portable hard drive like I just did 10 minutes ago at Sarah's computer, transfer a file. I can do all of this remotely. The photos are all online, so once I push them up to the cloud, they're there and accessible. And it's, I guess, a better system, more efficient, more accurate, and you're getting updates on a much more frequent basis than once or twice a year when I have to physically come in here to plug in and do. So, yeah.
So you said it's kind of like National Virgin and all that, so like, does it show just like open property then, for like ranches and farms and like, instead of just like, is it, cause you said 911 mapping, right, but is it just mapping in general, the whole county too, for open ground?
Yeah, if I get outside of town, I can go to layers and I can shut off certain stuff. I can turn off district boundaries, I can turn on voter registration boundaries. But if I wanna click on a particular piece of property, just a vacant piece of property, it'll pull up that particular record. And there you see the address information for it. Like if I wanted to pan and get out of town a little bit, I can click on that blank one. It'll pop up and there's the parcel ID. Now I can come over here and you can see that, there's an owner. Well, it says USA, so that's probably a bad one. Pick on a different one. There's Stimson Lumber. Let's see if we can get an actual Forest Service. Stimson Lumber here. Let me pan down into. You're thinking like a blank lot.
Or yeah,
an empty lot.
I just didn't know if it was just a 911 mapping or if it was mapping of the whole county for
Yeah.
property.
So the cadastral records are, countywide. And that's dipping through Hecla Mining. Here, I know, get down and, so there's like a vacant lot. So Sharky's own it. I can click here for additional property acres. So you see property type vacant land.
Okay.
So this is where it's dipping into the cadastral layer.
Yeah.
And it's pulling that information up. Whereas the cadastral, if you just went into the Montana Cadastral website, you're not gonna see any of the structure information.
No.
You're not gonna see the local road network. You're not gonna see the mile markers. You're not gonna see the fire district, the voter district, the school district. And so, we're taking, again, sort of a marriage of the two, and we're enhancing the cadastral data with the local GIS data, putting the two together. And you guys have invested 25 years of mapping data and me maintaining it, but the number of users, the actual users was maybe 10. Whereas this is gonna open it up to anybody who could use it. So propane delivery guys that get a record. They're like, where in the hell is that? I've never heard of Fox Hill Drive. Paul, where is it? Boom, they can go in and do a search, pull up the map and then print the map and know where they're going. Real estate, insurance, there's tons of people out there that have a need to be able to locate things. FedEx, UPS, not that they're gonna be able to use it, the drivers, but, they could.
Once upon a time, we used to print us atlases. And the businesses would come in, UPS and stuff, and that's how they'd find houses and stuff from the atlases.
So the minute you print it, it's out of date because
Yeah.
stuff's getting built all the
Yeah.
time.
We pulled one out yesterday, actually, to look for
Why
something.
we have our 2017 that we hang on to.
Yes.
How about people taking this and then reselling it, that aspect, or?
So it's basically a read-only viewer.
Okay.
You can lock it down so that they can't download it. And so every couple of years, a company called Here, HERE, has purchased a one-time snapshot of your data to update their map data. They're one of the couple companies that is like a internet map data broker. So one of their clients is Yelp. One of their clients is MapQuest. And so if you have an internet website, you can license their data to embed it into your platform, right? And so those companies have sort of set a precedent where they're paying for the data, the map data. And so the last go around, I think it was $700 and something, started as $500 probably 10 years ago. And the commissioners that I work with up in Valley County said, hey, cost of living increased, why aren't we increasing the cost that we're charging them? So, we're up to 700, and I think Mineral County said, next time we do it, we're gonna charge 1,000. And so all of my clients, you included, are benefiting from that, because you're getting that. So if you want the data, you're gonna have to pay for it. Trimble came to us probably 5, 6, 7 years ago and said, we want all of your GIS data. And we said, well, okay, Here is purchasing it and here's the going rate. And Trimble said, we're not paying for that, the heck with that. And so,
Free market.
yeah, exactly. And so therefore their data is not as good. So everybody asks a lot of times, Google Maps is horrible for your area, absolutely horrible. This isn't intended to replace Google Maps, but it's gonna be a hell of a lot better than going into Google Maps and trying to find something up above the ghost town where they don't have any of the roads, they don't have any of the addresses, they don't have any of the structures. This is everything that I have.
How does this tie in with like Orion, with Department of Revenue?
So
You mentioned Julie having access to this.
yeah, so let's say that you purchase a piece of property and you want to develop it. You contact me to get a physical address assigned. I assign that address, I get you an official address form that serves as proof of address so that you can then use it to get utilities, power, water, gas, phone, whatever. Also, you can funnel it to bank, mortgage, title, insurance, and so forth. I put a point in the map data, it's called a need to verify point, that says development is happening here. 2 or 3 times a year, I run around with a GPS unit and a laptop. I drove the entire county, hitting all of those need to verify points to physically verify that you built where you said you were gonna build. And you've actually developed the property, I'll map it, plug it in, and then I update this with that information. So the need to verify point is sort of a placeholder, but then I go in and I map it and actually replace it with actual data, usually within a year. Now, some places I put need to verify points on that are 5 to 10 years old because they had grand plans and they couldn't afford it, or, the building materials were too much or something happened. And so, some of them have been sitting idle for a really long time, but I keep checking on them every year. So I try to maintain this as best I can. That data then funnels into the 911 system. Did that answer your question?
Kind of.
Part of the revenue.
Oh, it's part of the revenue, so. A lot of people get CC'd on it, so clerk and recorder gets CC'd on it, so when they get that voter registration card from the DMV or somebody comes in to verify it, they've got a latitude, longitude on the house that they can put into the system to put a point on the map that says this voter is here, they're in these particular districts. Julie Goble from the Department of Revenue gets it, so she set a flag that says, okay, there's new development. Sometime in the next couple of years, I need to go out there and do an assessment, do an appraisal. The sheriff's office gets it so that dispatch and the deputies are aware, you know, a new road got plugged in, there's 2 new houses on a private subdivision road, there's, you know, new stuff there. We're CCing the commissioners, so they're aware of it. The treasurer's office, so when you come in to register vehicles, they're aware of it. So a whole bunch of people get CC'd on that new address form, including the Department of Revenue. Just a flag to say, hey, there's development going on in this area.
It just seems like this is much more in depth than using the property tax card from the Department of Revenue's website.
Correct.
Or some of the other stuff they have access to, like phone numbers, et cetera, like you cannot access that information.
No, and so you guys decide what appears. This particular county said, you know, these are the things that we want to show up. And, you know, if I pick on a particular, structure and it pulls up that information and I can actually view the address document. So when I was talking about the official address form, this is one of the new address forms for that particular record. Wayne, I think you need a new laptop.
So I've got 2 new laptops, but they don't work well with that projector.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's,
So this is an official address form for Mineral County. Granite County's looks very similar, because we're providing both. So there's a map diagram that says, you know, Doug and Karen Schwartz, they're building at this location on that lot, you know, who, what, where, and when. And so this is what they use to, apply for utilities, et cetera. And you can see the resulting structure is very close to what was originally intended. You know, you can go to that photo link, you can pull up the photo. You can't find this type of stuff online with the cadastral data. If you click on additional property records, that's where it's pulling up all of the overlays. So it's doing a dip into the cadastral to display what is in Orion, what's on the cadastral side. But then if you pan down, now you're getting into the actual other stuff. And that particular county, you know, we've got 100-year floodplain. Is this structure, is this property in the floodplain? So, you know, Linda Balk upstairs, I'm sure she gets a lot of inquiries about developing property along Flint Creek and the Lower Willow Creek, et cetera. You know, is the property in the floodplain? Where can I build? You can pull it up and see what the FEMA data is showing. Fire district, school district, water district, anything that you want to overlay onto this. Georgetown Lake zoning, I think there's 2 different things out of Georgetown Lake. One is zoning and the other one's, I don't remember.
It's probably just the one is zoning.
Maybe, I don't remember. I know I created 2 different zoning boundaries for. So bottom line, we'd like to develop this for Granite County and have it available to you, link on the website, and there's a lot of back end work that goes into making it look and feel and display, you know, colors, symbology, labeling, zoom scales, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, Joe has done Mineral County with me. I did all the data, funneled it to him. I helped shape how it looked and felt and what was accessible and what was not. and what information was accessible and what was not. And so we're kind of using it as a model, and he basically said, this is what I think it would take to do this for Granite County. And, you know, the Arc Reader software is still in use. Sarah's got it on her computer. I have it up this morning to update it, but at some point it's gonna go away. And so this is the next, to me, the next logical step for Granite County is to do this. And just FYI for you, I'm gonna be, proposing this as well to Valley County, Toole County, Ponderay County, Shoto County, you know, my other clients here in Montana. So, you know, they're all gonna hopefully eventually be on a very similar platform.
And it's just to get started and lined out, it's gonna be $9,000 to work under the providing.
Yep,
And
yep.
then how much more is it,
So annually, it's really not a whole lot of cost to maintain it. Unless they change the platform on us, then there would be, you know, more cost. But, you know, for what we foresee right now, you know, maintaining the data and say republishing and re-pushing stuff up to the cloud if there's been a major change to something. So let's say Flint Creek Fire District annexes a bunch of property. You know, then I would go into the map, I would update the fire district with the updated information, push it up to the cloud, and then the next time you open it, you'd see it. So really probably minimal maintenance, but we wanted you to be thinking about, you know, ongoing changes. You know, Sarah comes to me and says, hey, Matt, can we make it do this? Or can we add this? Or Blaine says, hey, we're thinking about petitioning more county roads. Can you color code this road or that road like we did the last ones and push it up? And I say, yeah, absolutely. So you guys can drive customization of this after we get it deployed and it's in use for a while, and another department comes forward and says, hey, what about this? What about that? Can we make it do this? Can we make it do that? Absolutely, and we can do that.
Matt, so, but you think, like an average, just an annual maintenance fee? like
Yeah,
we
you
did
put
about
10 hours
1,015
in there.
a year,
Yeah.
just.
We got it.
So can we take the funds out of 911?
Well, that'd be a question for Scott. I don't know what the rules are for the 911 funds and what you can spend 911 funds on. My thought was that, you know, this is more of a public map. It's not really driven from the 911 side of things. So, and I don't know what funds you guys can draw from, PILT funds perhaps. Sarah's land
We
use
land
funds.
use, how much is in land use? Is there
And we
enough
looked at,
to?
I looked at that, and like last year, we brought in maybe 2,000 into land use. I mean, there's a bunch in there right now.
so we use that?
But we could probably use that for part of it too. I think that the
And
only,
that fund comes from a fee on the clerk and recorder's recording, and we can use it for maps. We've used it for special things that 911 wouldn't cover,
right,
that the county needed to.
You could talk to the sheriff about part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely 911 funds could be used if it's agreeable.
Well,
And then-
I think that would be a state question
Yeah,
perhaps, because
yeah.
this focus would be more for the public viewer for the county website
But
to have a link,
yeah,
but
but they're still using, right? I mean, you go in there, go in every sheriff's office deputy vehicle.
no.
It wouldn't.
Two
Oh,
completely different
okay,
things,
all
yeah.
right, okay, I misunderstood. Okay.
So and it was initially, the initial $9,000 payment, and after that, it's just pay you guys by the hour for,
Ongoing customization or updates, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but I wanted you to be aware that, you know, there would be some ongoing stuff, which, you know, could come out of the land use funds
And
too.
yeah, and the ongoing stuff, we wouldn't have a problem with, and you probably think there's enough in land use right now to cover
I
it.
think so. I mean, if it is, well, I did look at it, and like last year, all that came in was maybe $2,000. So I mean, we wanted, you know, so if it were 15, if we
Well,
were
we
doing
can
it.
go ahead and accept it and then figure out where the
Yeah.
money can come from.
Yeah,
and talk
but we
to Scott.
definitely can take some of it out of
I
that.
mean, because it's for
And
this.
this is something that.
Yeah, until
We
two, I
have
think is
to.
what Matt was
Cause this is the new thing and the old thing's going away.
It is, yeah, so, I mean,
Yeah.
I can keep limping along with the
Yeah,
air greeter
no,
stuff,
no.
but you're basically one Windows update away from it crashing.
Yeah.
So if Windows comes out with an update, suddenly their greeter stuff's not working, I have no recourse. I can't fix it, cause I can't go back to Esri to say, hey, this isn't working, support me. They're gonna be like, yeah, we sunsetted that, sorry, you're out of luck.
Well, I guess being that we're kind of running out of time, would we entertain a motion now, or is that cool?
I'm cool with it, and Joe is available to work on it, all I have to do is funnel him your data.
And then
And
we
he actually has the data right now, because we've been working on this Explorer app for the deputies. And so, and just full disclosure, there was we did work for the sheriff's office, it was about just under $5,000 to develop the Explorer app and what's called a mobile map package. And basically it's like 5.5 gigs of information. So it's all of the digital structure photographs, it's the aerial imagery, it's topographic maps, it's all of the data that you see here, but packaged in such a way that it can be used on those MDTs and it can be used offline anywhere in the county using the GPS chip that's in their MDTs, shows their position on screen so they can see where they are. So if they gotta go up to the top of the mountain and they really, it's dark and they, trying to go find somebody, they can see where they are. They can see where the road goes, they can, they have an idea where they're going. And they can look it up, if that person calls on a cell phone, which, you guys have pretty good cell coverage in a lot of areas of the county, search and rescue type stuff. Hey, I'm at my cabin, I hit my leg with a chainsaw, I can't drive, I need an extraction or whatever, but they know where they are and they call 911. Val can decode or query the map for latitude, longitude. She puts it on screen. She knows where they are. There's an address associated with that cabin. They can type it in, what's the address of that cabin? They know exactly where they're going. So yeah, I mean, we're covering a lot of bases, and it seems complicated, but this Joe Rhodes from Civic Lens is very technologically savvy. I know the county, I know your roads, I know your structures, I know your addresses. He knows this end of it. And we're that's why we're working together to get you this. Because he knows how to produce all of this and put it in such a way that everybody can use it and it's fairly user friendly. I'd show you some more if you can play with it, but
I just go ahead and entertain a motion, we accept this and we'll worry about where the money comes from, whether we'll figure that out down the line, does that sound good?
I'll motion to accept the mapping and planning specialist.
Second,
I will second it.
Gail Leeper, go ahead. Sorry. Here.
Gail Leeper for the record. I just wanted to support Matt with this. I would think too, I know you're going to figure out the money later, but I would think this would be a very good thing that the planning board may be able to take some money out of their budget to put into that. I mean, obviously we'd have to meet about that, but anyway, I just want to talk in support of Matt with this project.
Some of the cities will help us too.
I'm not opposed to, it may not be very much, but I am not opposed to that by any means.
I think it's gonna help us all. I mean, it's just, we'll worry about that down the line, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Oh, one question, if Joe retires, there's other people around that can do the same thing, right?
Absolutely.
He's just the one that you're using.
that we're working to develop it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing's proprietary, it's all off the shelf, software, ESRI, yep.
Alrighty, well, we'll have all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried pass.
Wonderful.
Go
Thank
for it.
We'll get to work.
Sounds good.
And when it's ready, I'll be in touch with Miranda, because I'm assuming you do the website. Okay, so yeah, there'll be a link on the website that we can put up there and.
We want instruction now on what to add, or is that you want
No,
later on?
I'll probably get in touch. I mean, we'll do sort of a basic setup, knowing what Sarah uses, you know, and use this as somewhat of a model. Get something put together, we'll put it out there, and then we'll invite public comment or invite user comment.
Okay.
And then we can customize as needed, for sure.
Sounds
So you said we
good.
got like, I'm in there, I said we got like a 30-day trial of working bugs out and all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, we'll throw it out there and let people play with it, and if we need to tweak something, we absolutely can go back in and tweak it.
Okay, we signed it and you can get a copy.
Okay.
All right, we'll move ahead. We got people.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
Nice meeting
Thanks,
you.
Matt. Good job. Thank you. All righty, we'll jump into the Coast to Coast Public Safety DBA Granite County Public LLC binding agreement, please. Come on up, Casey. Sarah, please.
Might turn the lights on.
Wake up.
Holy shit, come on.
That is so long your leg went to sleep.
What do you got?
You say hi.
We're just renewing the, everything that we have in place right now. So the lease of the ambulance, lease of the one bay in Phillipsburg, and, the billing as well for Phillipsburg only. That's it, just
So-
nothing changed, just renewals.
All going well?
Yes.
With everything? So, yeah, it seems like did a good deal here.
Thank you for doing them classes and that. I mean,
Yes,
good
yeah, we
job.
have a new one starting in April, so,
Trying to get a lot more volunteers.
yes.
That's the hard part is
Yeah.
volunteers. So
I appreciate it.
if you notice, I mean, getting the trucks out the door, it's been going really well.
Got a lot of good, saying in that.
That helps.
Well, I'd entertain a motion then on this.
I will make a motion that we renew our lease with Granite Public Safety LLC, formerly known as Coast to Coast Public Safety, or is still close?
Well, we're kind of splitting it up into states so that way we can show our losses in different areas versus everything being the same. So the top here is where we're at.
The agreement also has the billing, so I may suggest saying for the motion, approve the agreement with the leases, the full agreement.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll do my motion to approve all. That
Say
okay?
that again.
You said approve the leases, but there's also the billing part of it,
Well,
so
then it
if you
should have
approve,
billing part on it too, so that I can say that.
you could say agreement with the leases. That's all you
Okay,
have to say.
agreement with leases
Yeah, all right.
and billing part of the agreement as well.
I'll second.
public comment,
It's a lot.
being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thanks.
That
was quick.
You got to see the presentation, and you're only
More
here a
than you
couple
bargained for.
Oh, yeah, you snake.
Then you, we'll get.
I should talk to Matt, put one of these in the ambulances, one of the four.
Here, I'll make a copy.
Type in the address.
That's the name of your. We use them in the Thursdays.
They're nice because you go to like Lower Rock Creek.
Yeah.
And I'm out there a lot because I'm the north guy, so if I'm out there and I don't have cell service or something, it's right there. And not being from Granite County, I'm not familiar with a lot of the roads. I mean, I learn them as I go, but like he was talking about Fox Trail, I know where that is. It's outside of Hall, but, so it does help.
Yeah.
us.
I don't know what a lot of the names in Peterborough is. I remember people would stop me like, you from here? Like, yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm looking for 101 whatever street. And I'm like, yeah. Well, whose house is it by?
Yeah.
I don't know any
What's it
street
look
names.
like? By the cemetery.
Yeah.
Yeah, and huh.
That's the public comment, I love the fishing holes.
Thank you for all
Thank
you
you.
do.
Yeah, I don't see you guys, it's employee week and appreciation for all the employees, I wanna say thank you and
Well,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
On that note,
Okay, thanks, yeah, see you.
on that note, Jackie was wondering if it's all right if we gave everybody like a candy bar and a thank you, cause employee week. To everybody,
We give them two.
you know. But she just kind of mentioned it, and I said I'd bring it up today,
Yeah.
so it's not on the agenda, but it's. Okay. On that note, we will adjourn. Thank you, everybody, for a good job today, and it's a good day.
What happened to your own?
Got it stuck between